Hello again, everybody. It's USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. It's time for this week's news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Well, we're only days away from the 2012 Women's World Wrestling Championships. It'll take place September 27th through the 29th in Strathcona County, Canada. We now know the talented women that'll be representing the U.S., the ones looking to win a world team title and bring home a pile of individual world medals. The wrestle-off for the U.S. Women's World Team took place Saturday at the U.S. Olympic Training Center. In total, 6 of the 7 weight classes were contested. A challenge tournament was held in the morning to determine the finalists, and the champions emerged from the best-of-3 series. Good news to share, all 6 winners of the wrestle-offs have previous senior world championships experience. Among them, 2005 world champion Iris Smith of the Army returns to action in the World Championships for the first time since winning gold 7 years ago. The 158-pound Smith swept King College star Julia Solana in 2 straight bouts. The score was 3-0, 4-0 at the end of bout 1 and 6-0, 3-0 at the end of bout 2. This will be Iris's 4th World Games.
I think I wrestle pretty good. It's always a great achievement to make a world team, so I plan on doing good things at World Championships. I've had time to kind of reevaluate my wrestling and been able to critique the little things, and hopefully it'll pay off at the end.
As a member of the 2012 U.S. Olympic team, Elena Peroskova advanced directly to the championship series. There, the Gator Wrestling Club's 2010 world silver medalist made her 6th straight U.S. World and Olympic team, sweeping Erin Claudio. The first 138-pound bout went to Peroskova 2-0, 2-0. The second was a bit tougher. Peroskova did prevail, however, with a 3-1, 1-2, 1-0 score.
I'm not really happy with the way I wrestled. I think my first match came out like, I did what I had to win. I didn't. Once I got up like 2-0, I just felt like I just was stalling it out, which is something I've been working on, but obviously I didn't break myself into not doing today. The second match, I was like, all right, I'm going to go out there more stronger, but I just felt like really sloppy, just not really finishing any of my shots. I felt really good today, really warming up. Physically, mentally, felt really good. I just feel like I just didn't wrestle too well, but it's all right.
Well, taking the finals in 2 straight bouts at 147 pounds, 2011 world bronze medalist Adeline Gray of the New York Athletic Club made her 3rd senior world championship team. She shut out Jennifer Page, winning the first bout 2-0, 4-0 and the second match 1-0, 1-0.
It's always exciting to make those world teams, and like Terry said, you don't get a lot of opportunities to be on those teams and to get the job done. So I'm really excited that I still have the opportunity to get the job done coming up here in a couple weeks. I feel strong at this weight. I had a little bit of a hard cut this time, but I'm excited to go in and have a better cut at the World Championships and really show what I can do at this weight, being as strong as I am.
Helen Maroulis of the New York Athletic Club also made her 3rd U.S. World Team. The 121-pound Maroulis was a winner in 2 straight over a talented Catherine Fulp Allen. Allen, a tough foe, battled hard in the first match, going 3 periods before Maroulis triumphed 2-0, 2-2, 3-0. The second match ended 4-0, 4-0.
My wrestling was actually really well. I didn't really have a lot of weeks of training. I was out for some injuries, and I didn't really know how I was going to perform after the weight cut and everything, but I just focused on staying solid. And I've wrestled Catherine before, and she's a very tough competitor, so I just tried to stay solid and just feel the moves and just trust in my instincts, so it worked out.
Well, the 2 other winners have been on previous U.S. World Teams. At 112 pounds, it was a battle of past World Team members. Alyssa Lampe of the Sunkissed Kids won a very competitive showdown against the always tough Whitney Condor. Lampe took bout 1, 2-1, 1-1, then squeezed out the win in the next match by a 1-0, 0-2, 2-0 margin. Lampe was on the 2010 U.S. World Team, while Condor competed on the 2011 U.S. World Team. Now, as a result of her clutch wrestling, Lampe was named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week.
I've been in the weight room a lot, doing extra and just really getting my strength, and just trying to bulk up a little bit to 51s because I knew I'd have to go to 51s, and I've been weighing kind of light, so I just tried to build a little bit of muscle in the time I could, and I definitely felt stronger out there. Whitney's one of the best wrestlers out there, so I just did the best I could, and I came on top.
In dominant fashion, the always tough 130-pound star Lee Janes of the New York Athletic Club made the team when she defeated Lindenwood College star Shauna Isbell. Janes won 2-0, 3-0 in bout 1 and 6-0, 3-0 in bout 2. Old form has returned. Her previous appearance at the World Championship was back in 2007.
I mean, the goal was obviously to make the world team. I wanted to make the Olympic team. It's been 4 years since I've been down at 59 kilos. I tried to cut down for the Olympic weight class and wasn't able to make weight at Olympic trials, and it just feels really good to be at my natural weight class again and be back on top.
Well, going into the wrestle-offs for the U.S. World Team, one weight class had already been determined. 2012 Olympic bronze medalist Clarissa Chun of the Sunkissed Kids made the team after her Olympic bronze medal performance in London. Chun was a 2008 world champion and has been on 2 Olympic teams and now 5 U.S. World Teams. U.S. World Team coach Billy Wood is excited about his squad.
Well, 3 out of the 6 matches that were in the finals here, they all practiced together, and so they know each other. They know their go-to stuff. They know their defenses and everything. And, you know, today the best wrestler won 2 out of 3 matches. And so I think the level is relatively high. I'm excited. I feel privileged to be coaching this team, and I'm, you know, looking forward to Canada.
Well, at this year's Olympic Games, our athletes earned more than 200 medals. And last Friday, nearly 400 members of the 2012 U.S. Olympic and Paralympic teams gathered on the South Lawn of the White House to be honored by President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, and Vice President Joe Biden for their success in London. In what has become a tradition, our nation's best athletes came together one more time for a chance to visit their Olympic teammates while meeting our nation's leaders. The sport of wrestling was well represented at the White House visit, making the trip to D.C. men's freestyle Olympians Jordan Burroughs, Jake Herbert, Travell Delagdev, and Sam Hazewinkle. They were joined by women's freestyle Olympians Clarissa Chun, Kelsey Campbell, and Allie Bernard. Greco-Roman Olympians Spencer Mango and Dermeal Byers also made this special trip. The President and the First Lady, along with the Vice President, personally greeted each and every athlete in attendance. With evident pride, they shook hands with and hugged all the Olympians and Paralympians. Many of the wrestlers posted photos during their White House visit through their own social media outlets. When it was over, there was more opportunity ahead for the wrestling Olympians as they met with U.S. Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio at his office at the Capitol. Jordan was a 2-time NCAA wrestling champ for Wisconsin and placed 3rd at the 1988 U.S. Olympic team trials in freestyle. The group posed with the congressman and exchanged wrestling stories. Our athletes were also special guests of the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, John Roberts. He was a wrestler in high school in Indiana. Also stopping by to meet the athletes, Justice Sonia Sotomayor. The wrestlers signed the frame of a photo showing Chief Justice Roberts in a wrestling match in high school. We talked with 2 of the athletes on the trip.
President Obama was so awesome to shake and hug each Olympian's hands, you know, and VP Biden and Michelle Obama as well, you know, like they didn't have to do that, you know. Others in the past have said that they never got that chance, you know, with Bush, but that's why I'm just like so grateful for the opportunities.
You know, to be able to go there and do that, it's just such a huge honor, like for some people once in a lifetime. So I was just excited to go, like whatever happened, whether or not I actually met them, just to be able to go and be present for it was just amazing.
All right, stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Well, hometown recognition continues for our Olympic wrestlers who returned home with medals. Coleman Scott was an NCAA champ for Oklahoma State, and he now lives full-time in Stillwater with his family. At a sold-out Boone Pickens Stadium, Scott was honored at Oklahoma State's football home opener against Savannah State. The crowd heard all about his amazing wrestling career, capped off with his most recent accomplishment, winning the men's freestyle 60-kilo bronze medal at the London Games.
Coleman Scott was a 2008 NCAA champion, member of 2 NCAA title teams at Oklahoma State, 4-time All-American and 2-time NCAA finalist, 2012 World Cup champion, winner of a thrilling wrestle-off in New York City's Times Square to earn his spot on the U.S. Olympic team, and last but not least, a 2012 Olympic bronze medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Coleman Scott.
Well, the busy international wrestling schedule continued this week at the Veterans World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. This event features those 35 years and above. This year, FILA had combined the Greco-Roman and men's freestyle competition at the same location with 7 different age categories in each style. The United States sent a team of more than 50 entries to compete in Budapest. The roster included 6 past veteran world champions, led by 7-time Veterans World Champ freestyler Shirzad Ahmadi of Connecticut. Versatile, many of the American athletes will be competing in both styles. At the conclusion of the Veterans event, the Beach World Championships for men will begin. The USA will have 2 entries at 90 kilos, including 2-time Beach World bronze medalist Jeff Funicello. This week, U.S. athletes in all 3 styles will compete at the 2012 Haydar Aliyev Golden Grand Prix in Baku, Azerbaijan. Now, this is the annual conclusion of the Golden Grand Prix events held each year on the FILA international schedule. Athletes from each nation must qualify their nation to participate. Now, there is a prize list for the medalists, including $10,000 for champions, $5,000 for silver, and $2,000 for bronze. America qualified for 7 spots in the women's freestyle field. 2 past world medalists at the age group level are among those competing for Team USA. 2008 University World Champion Catherine Folt-Allen will see action at 121 pounds. 2009 Junior World Silver Medalist Veronica Carlson is entered at 147 pounds. 2012 U.S. Olympic Team Trials 121-pound runner-up Max Nowry will lead the way with 3 entries in Greco-Roman for the team. The U.S. has also qualified 2 entries in men's freestyle, including 2010 U.S. World Team member Les Sigmund, who plans to compete at 211 pounds. Of course, we'll have updates and results from these events on next week's broadcast. All right, Bennett Miller, the Oscar-nominated director of Moneyball, is directing an upcoming movie about Olympic gold medalist wrestlers Dave and Mark Schultz. Some prominent actors have already joined the cast, including Mark Ruffalo as Dave Schultz, Channing Tatum as Mark, and Steve Carell as John DuPont. Now, Miller and his staff are working hard to make the wrestling portions of the film authentic. 2 past wrestling greats, John Gira and Jesse Jansen, are serving as wrestling consultants on the picture to make sure the details are correct and presented properly. On Saturday, the film had them lining up in the Pittsburgh area as the producers held a major audition for extras and some speaking roles as well. Those involved with wrestling were asked to try out so that real wrestling people were playing wrestling people in the movie in roles like wrestlers, coaches, and refs. Well, USA Wrestling Weekly has been told by the casting directors that the audition was a huge success with over 150 quality prospects showing up. We'll keep you posted on this story as it develops. All right, stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors viewers to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, one of those in attendance at this weekend's wrestle-offs had a keen interest in the competition overall. 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Randy Miller was there taking in all the action. Miller has recently announced that she intends to return to competition after taking a 4-year hiatus. Miller has been training hard in mixed martial arts. Recently, she returned to the U.S. Olympic Training Center to work with the resident athletes and now looks to compete for the first time in early 2013.
Yeah, I decided not too long ago that I had another four years in me. I just figured, you know, you only get to live your life once, so no regrets. So that's what brought me back in. You know, these things don't come to me as quickly as I would like, but I'm having a lot of fun and having a great time getting back into it. But I am getting a little frustrated here and there, but that's part of the game, so.
Well, each year, the United States Olympic Committee announces its athletes and teams of the year, drawing candidates from a field of nominees from every sport in our Olympic movement. In addition to overall winners for the Olympic family, each sport is recognized with the USOC Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year. The 2012 USOC award winners include Olympic gold medalist Jordan Burroughs as the Male Wrestler of the Year and Olympic bronze medalist Clarissa Chun as the Female Wrestler of the Year. Burroughs went undefeated in 2012, if you recall, capping off his gold medal performance at the 2012 London Games at 163 pounds. He defeated Iran's Sada Guzari in the gold medal bout and beat two-time world champion Denis Sargush of Russia in the semifinals. He defeated Andrew Howe in the finals of the U.S. Olympic Team Trials in Iowa in April. Other highlights of Burroughs' year were titles at the Dave Schultz Memorial and the Cerro Pelado in Cuba. Chun won her bronze medal at 105 pounds, defeating 2004 Olympic champion Irini Merlini in the bronze medal bout. It was a step up from her fifth-place finish at the 2008 Olympics. Chun beat Alyssa Lampe in a highly competitive final series at the Olympic Trials. Other 2012 highlights for Chun include a victory at the Pan American qualifier. Swimmer Michael Phelps was selected USOC Sportsman of the Year. Track and field sprinter Allison Felix was named the USOC Sportswoman of the Year. The U.S. women's rowing team was honored as the Olympic Team of the Year, and the USOC Yearly Award winners will be presented at a celebrity dinner during the 2012 U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Assembly in Colorado Springs this weekend. Congrats to all of those nominated for this tremendous honor. Well, last year, the wrestling community took great pride in inspiring high school wrestling coach Mike Powell of Oak Park and River Forest High in Illinois after SI published a major feature story on his amazing life story. You may know it. Powell is battling a rare disorder called polymyositis, where his immune system attacks his own body. Powell has courageously moved forward, still coaching his championship team and athletes in spite of it all. Last week, Powell was profiled on the new television show by Sports Illustrated, airing on the NBC Sports Channel. Powell is a leader within USA Wrestling. He's coached numerous champion athletes, including 2012 Greco-Roman Olympian Ellis Coleman, USOTC resident Greco-Roman athlete Pete Kowalczyk, and Chris and Nick Dardanes, who now compete at the University of Minnesota. His teams are among the best in Illinois and in the nation. He was a USA Wrestling Junior Greco-Roman Coach of the Year this summer.
It's very similar to muscular dystrophy. So my muscles are dying at a much quicker rate than yours are or the average person's are. And so what that means is I'm going to lose the ability to walk a lot sooner than other people, and I'm going to lose the ability to feed myself. And frankly, I've seen what the advanced stages of the disease look like, and it's ugly. And so that's what I have to look forward to. In the meanwhile, I'm going to dominate life. So I don't focus on that very often. Climb the rope, dude. I'm 100% convinced I'd be dead if I wasn't a wrestler before I got sick.
So usually we're conditioned to have one of two types of stories. This tragic death in a situation like this that then inspires people, or this miracle, heroic comeback that also inspires people. And in the case of Mike, what's unusual is that there's neither. All we're going to see from Mike is him getting up tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. It's his grim daily battle for survival. And that's the example that he's setting for these kids.
All right, stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Both of these guys are explosive, and it's not over. This is going to be a great match.
Well, recently we reported that all 7 freestyle U.S. Olympic team members were based at regional training centers on college campuses across the country. Remember, college wrestling is important to USA Wrestling. Well, it's been a week that's been very busy for college wrestling. Last week, the Division I Championship Sports Management Cabinet asked the Division I Wrestling Committee to further work on a proposal to change the team component of the NCAA Championships to a dual match format. The suggested format change, which also is supported by the National Wrestling Coaches Association, goes back to the wrestling community now for more discussion and development. Right on our deadline, it was announced that 3 major college wrestling programs have changed their conference affiliation. Joining the Mid-American Conference as affiliate members in wrestling are nationally respected Missouri, Northern Iowa, and Old Dominion. Missouri left the Big 12 in all sports for the Southeast Conference and has now decided on its wrestling conference since the SEC does not sponsor the sport. Old Dominion has left the Colonial Athletic Conference in all sports and now has a wrestling home of its own. Northern Iowa moves to the MAC from the Western Wrestling Conference. College wrestling has also grown by 1 program this week as Coker College in South Carolina has announced it will too start a men's program as a varsity sport in 2013-2014. Coker competes on the Division II level in the NCAA, jumping the number of D2 wrestling programs now to 57. Well, there was big news out of Waverly, Iowa, as one of the nation's most successful coaches, Jim Miller of Wartburg College, will step down as head coach of this mighty powerful school in Division III. Miller will remain at Wartburg and serve in other capacities as well. Since joining Wartburg in '99, Miller has coached his team to 9 Division III national team titles, 20 straight Iowa Conference titles, and 6 national dual titles. Miller has coached 34 individual national champions and 138 All-Americans. And for something fun to look forward to during the college season, tickets are now on sale for the inaugural Grapple at the Garden, which will be held in historic Madison Square Garden in New York City. The date, Sunday, December 16th. The lineup of the 14 Division I programs in the dual meet is impressive to say the least. Past NCAA champion teams in the field include Oklahoma State and Iowa. The action will also feature Bloomsburg, Bucknell, Chattanooga, Cornell, Drexel, Hofstra, George Mason, Maryland, Missouri, Nebraska, Ohio State, and Rutgers. Organizers hope to sell out the Garden for this spectacular event. We, of course, will keep you posted on the progress. All right, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country. They're also being considered for our photo contest page in USA Wrestler Magazine and USA Wrestling's Facebook page. This week, our Photo of the Week is taken by John Mankiewicz, depicting 7-year-old JT Mankiewicz of the Sachem North Wrestling Club in New York, scoring a takedown in the Suffolk County Youth Championships. Have your photographs considered by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Our coverage of international wrestling continues next week on our broadcast. Until then, from the studios of USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper. Good night.